Any, go ahead.
Mark it up here.
So the budget document has been available for reviewing on the budget counter now for over a week. And just put together a few bullet points, just going to highlight some of the more significant items in the budget. And I'm just going to start with the general fund. But I guess before I do, just a note, as far as the mills are concerned, the mills that are stated in the General Appropriations Act are exactly the same as last year. No changes to the villages. And with the general fund, the main item that changed is capital outlay, decreased by approximately $500,000. And that's due to mainly due to grant projects. So our Western Gateway Trail project was done this fiscal year, and the Prairie Park and Depot Park grant projects are currently in progress. Will be completed early in the fiscal year, or should be. And then also we purchased the fire apparatus, the used fire apparatus this fiscal year. And the only additional thing for next year that we're budgeting for right now is the memorial building facade improvement, and as well as the gym grant project. So that's a major change in the general fund. With the major local streets, of course, this year we were fortunate enough to Act 51 calculation was in our favor, and our funding is expected to increase for this coming fiscal year. We were able to put an additional $500,000 in the street improvement projects, including, but not limited to, seal coating, crack sealing, and mill, pulverize, and overlays. So we've been doing some maintenance on a lot of the streets that we previously paved, so keeping those in order. And the equipment fund is going to decrease by approximately $100,000, and that's directly related to the transfer of about $115,000 to the general fund for the purchase of the fire apparatus. Water fund and sewer fund are both going to decrease by about $400,000. In the water fund, we have the CPG urgent need grant project this fiscal year, and in the sewer fund, the SOC grant project. And then the fund that is one of the items we'll not be budgeting for is the capital improvement fund, which was a special revenue fund funded by the street bond. And we're expected to hopefully expend that before the end of the fiscal year. So not budgeting for that next fiscal year. So those are the highlights. If there's any other questions, I can answer those now.
Thank you. Any public comment with respect to the proposed budget? Yes?
Bill Martell, 420 West Francis, and I was wondering why there was a $12,000 decrease in the park maintenance budget, and also why you only have $3,750 set aside for ordinance violation. Between the ATV, snowmobile, truck route, and your soon-to-be no smoking policy, why is this only $3,750? Thank you.
Thank you. Any other? Do I use the gavel to close public hearings? With that, we'll close the public hearing at 5:26. And we'll call the Zoning Board of Appeals to order. Recording of the roll again.
All present except for Commissioner Mildren, who has an excused absence.
And speaking to this topic, Michael Brown.
All right, thank you. Before you this evening is a variance request from Tractor Supply for the new store out on Cloverland Drive. They are requesting an increase in the height of their building wall sign. Based on the ordinance, they're permitted to have roughly a 4-foot tall building wall sign. Their request is 8-foot tall sign. So that is their request this evening, and I would answer any questions that the commission might have. To the public.
Is the 8-foot tall sign something they do in other locations?
It is, I guess it's a standard sign package that they have, so this is their standard package that they come in with their sign. So I would say yes, I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming that this is a standard package.
There's no one here from their group to represent them?
I believe there is. Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? Excuse me. I'll open this up to public comment. Any public comment on this issue? No? I close that public hearing, and we move on to consider action on this variance request.
I'll make a motion that we approve the variance request as described in line item number 4.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Corcoran, seconded by Commissioner Tower, to approve the variance request as described in item 4. Roll call vote, please.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Birchall?
Yes. Motion carries. Now, I'd like to call the regular meeting to order.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Recording of the roll.
All present except for Commissioner Mildren, who has an excused absence.
Thank you. At this time, I would just like us to take a moment of silence in solidarity and in remembrance for the tragedy that happened in Orlando, Florida yesterday. If we could just take a moment, thank you. Thank you. Moving on to approval of the consent agenda, item C.
I'll make a motion we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semos, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran to approve the consent agenda as presented. Roll call vote, please.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Birchall?
Yes. Motion carries. Item D, approval of the agenda.
Madam Mayor, I have one change to item Q, that the amount be $65,305.
Would you say that number again, please?
$65,305.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Corcoran, seconded by Commissioner Semo to approve the agenda as amended. All in favor? Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. Item E, citizens wishing to address the commission on items on the agenda, a 3-minute limit. Then as you come up, please state your name and address. Mr. Martel?
Bill Martell, 420 West Ramsey Street. This is concerning section H on the budget, or section 9.7-A of the city charter. It says you're supposed to quote reasons for increases and decreases in more or less your appropriations. So why is this part of the maintenance budget reduced by $12,000? Next thing is the truck route sign by Walmart. There's one that you put in, it's virtually hidden. It's approximately 2 feet behind the speed limit sign. So I want to know why they put that sign there.
Which item number was that last one?
What?
Which item number was that one?
Well, I can cover
Thank you.
S and T, okay.
And the sign by Walmart, where was that located?
It's south of Walmart, there's one thing, it's 2 feet behind the speed limit sign. It's on the west side of the road.
I think you mentioned under item number N.
We can address that under N.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other public comments on items on the agenda? No more. We'll move on to citizens wishing to address the commission on items not on the agenda. Mr. Grabovich.
Walker Bostitch, 1221 East Leonard. And the first thing I want to do is thank you, Annette, for taking that walk around the construction zone with me. We had a very nice walk and a very nice talk. And that was the only time any city commissioner or city official knocked on my door, called me by the phone and say, hey, Paul, what's your problems with the streets, with this construction? Let's go take a walk. Thank you very much. We walked and had a very nice time. Thank you again. There are still problems there. I mean, the storm sewers at Dan and Ellen Katalski's. To be on the northeast corner of Zinn and Florence. It's right on the, I mean, it looks like a bomb crate that went off. I mean, it's just there. And it has to be 40 feet from, I mean, from Zinn Street, east to Zinn on Florence. I mean, it's, and Bob Marine's complaining about the water running down this hill on Celia Street there, on the south side of Celia. I mean, that's not done right. The grass, and the grass is ridiculous the way it's growing all over that neighborhood. It's just terrible. And down the Bob Madsen's yard, 907 Celia. It's on the southeast corner of Celia and Wemple. I mean, there's a storm drain there, and you see it. He won't cut the grass because the way that the storm sewers in the ground. I mean, it looks like you took a backhoe. And you just dug. You dug a hole there. I mean, it's like a hole for a well. This stuff is easy fixes. They're standing water. They're easy fixes. It should be done. It should be done right. I mean, Scott Erickson, he won't even admit that there's problems over there. I mean, at the last commission meeting, he never even addressed the problems over there. It's in that construction zone. And after the jobs, I mean, the pack-sack jobs that were done on Florence and Celia Street, those streets are not done right. Celia Street is still low, east of that, the Clark Street ditch. On the south side there, the water in the swamp is higher than the road, about halfway up the gravel. And everybody knows that Florence Street is a disaster on the north side. It's a simple fix. Put the blacktop where the gravel's at. I mean, you have to admit that there's problems there. How can 99.9% of the people be wrong in the city? I'm gonna keep on harping until this stuff has to be fixed. I mean, we're paying for 40 years on this. 40 years. 40 years. This is not a simple project. It was a simple project, but it's a 40-year goal. This stuff has to be done right. But Scott will not even admit to say, hey, all I want to hear is Scott say, there's a mistake made. Of course there's going to be mistakes. People are human, they're going to make mistakes. Let's see, let's fix it. Let's fix these streets, and let's fix them right. There's simple fixes. And that's it, that's all we need to hear. Then I would shut up about them. And fix them. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Yes, sir?
Bill Martell, 420 West Francis Street, and I was wondering why the statement about revenue and expenditures was not being discussed tonight, and the monthly cash report, because Mr. Lane was out of town at the end of May there for that city commission meeting. So I want to know when this is going to be discussed. It's going to be discussed at the next meeting or not. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Item G, presentation by Mr. Michael Brown, our Community Development Director, on the subject, an update on the MEDC redevelopment ready communities.
All right, thank you. Last week, myself and Assistant, Community Development Assistant Tim Erickson, we traveled to Grayling to training from the Michigan Economic Development Corporation on the Redevelopment Ready Communities program. It's a certification program that the state is committed to, basically it's best practices on what we as communities should be doing to encourage development and redevelopment in our communities. And it's a 2-day-long course training for 8 hours a day, going through the different topics that they address. There's 6 main criteria, 6 areas that they address are best practices. And what we learned was that we're doing a lot of the right things, which is encouraging, always to hear. There are still some things that we can do better and improve upon, and those are things that we're going to be working on. So I just want to give you an update on that, about the training, things that we're going to be working on. Again, we're doing well already. Just kind of briefly mention the 6 areas that they focus on as best practices. First is community plans and public outreach. Well, we've got our comprehensive plan that we went through a couple of years ago. Zoning regulations. Again, we're working on that. That's going to be another project we're working on over this next year. Development review policy and procedures. Again, we have a lot of the zoning ordinance updates so that we can finalize those and really put those into concrete. Recruitment and education. This kind of comes in with boards and commissions and letting them know and members and volunteers know how they can serve, how they can do, what they can be expected to do, where they can play a role in the community. Fifth one is redevelopment ready sites, which is basically looking at vacant or underutilized sites in the community, working with those property owners and looking at how we can market those better and help them advertise their properties to developers. And the final is economic development and marketing, looking at the branding that we're working on through right now and coming up with a marketing strategy and further continuing marketing our community. So those are the 6 main areas that we focused on, that the training was about. Many of those, again, like I said, we have a lot of components already that we're meeting, and the goal is to be able to become certified through this program. And what that certification basically does is it tells the development committee, we're ready, we're open for development, we're open for business, and it really just encourages them to look at us. It also helps with grant funding in the future through the state. They look at that as if you do get certified in this program, score better on grant applications that programs that they offer. So with that, I'd answer any questions you might have. Otherwise, over the course of the next year or so, we're going to be working on kind of finalizing and getting ready to be able to become certified for this program.
Well, I look forward to learning more about this. Thank you. Old business, item H. Review and consider resolution number 016-011, approving the Appropriations Act for fiscal year 2016-17, including budget establishment of the 16-17 millage rates for city services, and authorizing the collection of a 1% tax administration fee, and adopting the 16-17 city fee schedule.
Thank you. Just to respond to Mr. Martell's question regarding the parks maintenance budget, the biggest decrease, the biggest reason for it is last maintenance structure items. If you recall, during the budget work session, there was multiple actually items that were discussed throughout the process, through the priority process. Some of those items were eliminated. So that's the biggest difference. Any other questions?
We talked a lot about the budget, and I would like to make a motion, we approve that resolution as described in item H.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Tower to adopt?
Yes, approve.
Approve the resolution as described in item H. Further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Tower?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Semo?
Yes.
Bertha?
Yes. Thank you. Motion carries. Moving on to new business, discuss and consider approving resolution number 016-012, recommending the Ironwood Brewery Company state application be considered for approval from the Michigan Liquor Control Commission. First of all, I would ask for a motion of support to allow me to abstain from this discussion and this vote.
I'll make that motion. Would you like to describe why you're asking for it?
Because one of the principals involved is my husband.
There you go. I'll make a motion, we allow Mayor Burchell to abstain from this vote.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Tower, to allow Mayor Burchell to abstain from this discussion and vote. Do we need a roll call on this, Karen? No. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And speaking to this, Mr. Burchell. And please state your name and address.
Commissioners, my name is Bob Burchell, and I'm here representing a group who is building downtown where the old across from the post office, the old Forest Service building. If you're familiar with that. And we're interested in opening a brewery there, which will have a tasting room in it, and I'm not sure beyond that where it will go, but we hope to brew beer and hope to eventually sell it outside of the brewery, but initially it will be brewed in the brewery and served in a tasting room there. It's a group of folks in town who are interested in the community development side of it. We're hoping that it will be a nice addition to the downtown. I'm here with one of our members, Andy Warren. He's going to be our brewer, who's very adept at brewing. And what we need tonight from you, we're asking from you is approval to move forward with it, and it's necessary for our license, our brewery license.
Well, I'm very happy to see another business come into our downtown and people trying to expand on Ironwood, trying new and different things. So I would make an motion to approve Resolution 016-012 as described in item I.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Corcoran, seconded by Commissioner Semo to approve resolution number 016-012 as described in item I. Further discussion? All in favor? Is that what? No, roll call vote, sorry.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Burchell?
Abstain. I'm
I'm sorry,
abstaining.
abstain.
You're welcome.
Good luck.
Moving on to item J, discuss and consider authorizing solicitation of requests for proposals for the zoning ordinance update.
All right, thank you. We've been talking about the ordinance update throughout the budget process. Commission just a few minutes ago approved the budget with that project in there. So what we're doing is asking for your authorization to solicit requests for proposals for that project.
I'll make a motion, we authorize solicitation of RFPs for the zoning ordinance update.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Tower to authorize solicitation of RFPs for the zoning ordinance update. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. Item K, discuss and consider approving pay package number 1 to Miracle Midwest for the Depot Park Playground in the amount of $35,140.
Thank you. If you haven't seen it yet or experienced it, the new playground is in at Depot Park. So we are coming before you with a first pay package. There is a small retainage left on the project, just for a few cleanup items, but for all intents and purposes, the playground is in and installed, and kids are playing on it.
Great.
Yes, I was there today, just drove by the depot, and there were kids all over the playground equipment. It was being very well used. It was great to see. I'll make a motion, we approve the pay package described in item K.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran to approve the pay package as described in item K. Further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Birchall?
Yes. Motion carries. Item L, discuss and consider approving pay package number 1 to Lindquist Electric, Inc. for the Curry Park electrical upgrades in the amount of $35,456.85.
Thank you. Again, another project, DNR grant project that Olympus Electric did with the upgrades to Curry Park. All the electricity, the pedal sills have been upgraded, everything is in. This is again partial payment. We have another about 5% retainage on there, just clean up like. There was a correction in the table in your package here. Number 1,000, the unit price and total weren't correct. It didn't affect the total pay estimate. Those numbers are still correct. But just to give you a heads up, the unit price, that's not the correct amount. But again, it doesn't affect the total payment and the payment units estimate.
Michael, is that project, are those sites being used yet?
They are open and available for use. Again, there's still some other minor items that city crews have to do, some other work out there, but for all intents and purposes, the electrical is in. It's running, it's been approved by the state electrical inspector, and as far as I know, it's working operational.
Well, this has been like a long time coming for the park there, where I know we've tried over and over again rolling it into different packages. I just thank staff for their due diligence to break it down into something, a smaller grant, and thus the award. So thank you very much.
I'll make a motion that we approve the pay package described in item L.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran to approve the pay package as described in item L. Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Tower?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Semo?
Yes.
Birchall?
Yes. Motion carries. Item M, discuss and consider approving pay package number 1 to Angelo Lupino for the 2016 local street paving in the amount of $104,247.
Again, this is the first payment to Angelo Lupino. They are the contractor hired by the city for the local street paving project, and I'm pleased to report the project's going well. Angelo Lupino and the crews are doing a nice job. They've been out in Norrie Park Road area diligently over the last week and a half, and they're continuing that this week, and they'll be continuing into the Norrie area. There's a number of streets in there that have been pulverized, shaped, and are ready for paving. So again, things are moving along very well, and this is the first payment.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we approve the pay package number 1 to Angelo Lupino as described in item M.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Corcoran, seconded by Commissioner Semo to approve the pay package number 1 to Angelo Lupino as described in item M. Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Birchall?
Yes. Motion carries. Item N, discuss and consider approving change order number 1 in the amount of $711.78 for the installation of truck route signs.
Thank you. City did retain JCS Construction to install the truck route signs. All the signs are installed. We did add one additional sign in an area where it was necessary, and also had to upgrade some posts on US 2, some larger posts that we worked with the DOT, and they wanted a little larger post in one area. So we are recommending the change order in the amount of $711.78.
Could you address the question about a sign that the location didn't see?
Sure, this is on Country Club Road, I believe, where they installed one of the signs, and it's there's a speed limit sign right in that location. The speed limit sign has to be relocated yet, Andrew?
Three speed limit signs on the front row that will be relocated once DPW is available for.
So it's on their list, and they're going to get those signs adjusted a little bit. They both that location was the best spot for both of them, but the speed limit sign will be located accordingly.
Very good.
What was that?
The stakes are in the ground waiting for DPW.
So they have to call and locate, and then they'll put a new post in and relocate those signs, the speed limit signs.
Just curious, is the speed limit sign change on the state's dime then, or is that on our dime?
It'll be on ours. They're on our local roads where they have to be relocated, so they are city signs.
I'll make a motion, we approve the change order in item N.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Tower to approve the change order as described in item N. Further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Virgil?
Yes, motion carries. Now, items O, discuss and consider approving payment number 1, final payment in the amount of $9,556.78 for the installation of truck route signs.
No additional information. The signs went in very well, and JCS did a nice job in the installation.
I'll make a motion, we approve the payment as described in item O.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, second by Commissioner Tower to approve the payment as described in item O. Further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Tower?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Semo?
Yes.
Virgil?
Yes, motion carries. Item P, discuss and consider awarding the 2016 pavement marking bid to PK Contracting in the amount of $31,617.65.
This would be for the pavement striping for this year. The funding does come out of the local street fund budget and major street budget also. And as you'll see, we did only have one contractor. There are only a couple of contractors that do this kind of work, but one contractor bid it. The prices are competitive. We did compare them to last year's pricing just to make sure they're in the ballpark. And we did contact the other contractor that typically bids these projects, and they had their workload was too extensive. They couldn't have gotten to it until late in the fall. So we are recommending award of the bid.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we award the bid as described in item P.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran to award the bid as described in item P. Further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Corcoran?
Yes.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Virgil?
Yes. Motion carries. Item Q, discuss and consider awarding the Memorial Building Facade Improvement Project Phase 1 to Macy Construction in the amount of $65,305. And then if you could speak to the scale back, that would be great.
I will.
Karen's going to take this one?
Okay, yep. Bids were recently received for the Memorial Building Facade Improvement Project. Unfortunately, they came way over bid what we had money for. So after staff review, it was our recommendation, and after meeting with Nacy Construction, and they were agreeable to amend the project, and they would do the designated walls that are in red up there in the on the map. So they have agreed to that, and so that's what we would recommend us to do in Phase 1. The next phase of the project will not be able to be done until the 17-18 budget if we budget for it and we're able to finish the work. And that is all the areas that you see out there, out the window.
The wall that's not getting done would be the wall on this side of the building. That's on the side that we're on.
Okay.
But all the rest of those would be done under this project. And essentially, that's we'll sandblast, clean, fix the bricks that have spalled, and repainting of the whole wall.
Okay.
So this is the wall that won't be done?
The wall that, it's
One that we
outside
have
wall.
to look at all the time?
Right.
No, this
Actually, the one.
This wall that you don't see.
Oh, the one that
Right here.
the one that we're,
Yes.
right here.
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we award the facade improvement project as described in item Q.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Corcoran, seconded by Commissioner Tower to award the facade improvement project as described in item Q. Further discussion?
I just want to ask, the 65,000, is that what we did budget for the project?
Actually, the dollars in the budget, we did budget is around 55,000. We do have some proceeds from our insurance return that we had that have not been budgeted, so there's one another 10,000 there. So we're looking at 55 plus one additional 10.
Insurance related to this type of?
It's not,
no.
it's just basically an insurance rebate. We don't budget for that because there's no guarantee that we would get it. We did receive one this year, so.
Okay. Any other questions, discussion? No. Roll call vote, please.
Semo?
Yes.
Tower?
Yes.
Corcoran?
Yes.
And Virgil?
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Item R, discuss and consider authorizing bids for water leak detection services.
Since the March of this year, pumpage has increased, I don't know, 250,000 smaller leaks. Looking at our system, we have 65 miles of pipe, and we've put in 80 miles of pipe in the last 5 years. So we'd like to put over a bid for leak detection and remaining 50 miles of water main service lines in the city.
Is there any chance at all that the leak is in the transmission line, the part that hasn't been done yet?
Probably not. We're pushing out about 240 PSI. The guys walked that twice already.
All right.
Nothing stood out.
Do you have an idea what this project might cost?
16,000. We would hire a leak detection survey crews that would come in $4,000 at a pop, and then we do 1 or 2. I think we're going to get a lighter bang for a buck if we do a citywide. In my time, we have not done an extensive for citywide. We're thinking of the old model sites. We're talking the cemetery. We're talking everywhere. It might be a combination of a lot of little leaks. But we have a lot of new areas where, okay, we don't have to search Jessville too much.
Right. So, just for curiosity, how much of a percentage is this increase in pumping?
10%?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, just a guess.
And Bob, with this, just for a little maybe information, our overall system, we used to pump, a number of years ago, somewhere in the area of just under 2 million gallons a day. Now we're under a million, we're closer to 700,000.
Closer to 700,000. When we first started, we were at 2.2 million, and we were dropping 100,000, and we got about 700,000, and then it increased again.
So the system has been tightened up extremely for all this water loss throughout the projects, which is a good thing. Again, with this larger water leak that we haven't yet found, this should help hopefully pinpoint that. But we should also find any other small leaks that are still in the system in the areas that we have not replaced water mains. It's a good thing, and hopefully a long-term cost-saving measure by finding these leaks, making repairs.
I'll make a motion, we authorize the bids described in item R.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Towler to authorize the bids as described in item R. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. Item S, considered approval of sewer engineering amendment number 3 for the City of Ironwood Phase 3 Utility Project Local to Coleman Engineering in the amount of $3,001.50.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Both of the projects on the highway in 2014 and 2015 contractually required the contractor to produce the as-built drawings. The 14 project, they were somewhat less than what was needed in order to satisfy the city staff. And the 2015 project, they were pretty much non-existent. So as you see in the attached, there's change orders attached to the actual pay packet. The monies were, if you will, taken away from those contractors, and instead, what you're doing is you're moving it to Coleman Engineering, because we provided the records necessary to satisfy the city staff. And so it doesn't cost the city users any more money. You've taken the money from the contractor. That would apply to both items as
Scott, is this a logical and reasonable change here?
It is. Again, we're not expending any more money, and you look at it from the contractor standpoint, with the MDOT contracts, they're really not held up with this. They're not really geared up to do as-bills. This is basically they'll write in pencil on a sheet of paper things that have changed, where we look to have this all their plan sets archived digitally in CAD format. So all that data is there, it's archived, it's scanned in, for future generations to use, many years from now. So long story short, yes, it's a very good expenditure of the dollars, and it's already been budgeted for and intended to be paid to the contractor, but now will be paid to Coleman to do it in the right format.
So the contractor hasn't been paid this amount of money?
Yeah, not, it's actually being reduced from their contract.
Okay.
And moved over to the Coleman contract.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll make a motion, we approve the amendment as described in item S.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran to approve the amendment as described in item S. Further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Tower.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes.
Semo.
Yes.
Virgil.
Yes. And similar, item T, consider approval of water engineering amendment number 2 for the City of Ironwood Phase 3 utility project to Coleman in the amount of, same amount, $3,001.50.
I'll make a motion, we approve the amendment as described in item T.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Corcoran, seconded by Commissioner Semo to approve the amendment as described in item T. Further discussion? Roll call vote?
Corcoran.
Yes.
Semo.
Yes.
Tower.
Yes.
Virgil.
Yes. Motion carries. Item U, consider approval of rural development pay package in the amount of $22,015.43 for the City of Ironwood's Phase 3 utility project water portion.
Again, I can add to this. This is to reimburse the Michigan Department of Transportation for the second phase of the US 2 project as they pay their bills and they transfer to us our portion of that bill that we're responsible for. And I think there's a question regarding Snow Country, which is not part of this phase of the project, but I will address that. I think the question was where are we at with they have a claim against the city for the phase, against, I should say, the DOT, but it's city-related costs on the phase 1 portion of the project. They're going through a series of processes through the Michigan Department of Transportation review process on their claims. They did go through the first claim review process, and the DOT responded to them on what they felt the actual value of the claim was. I don't believe Snow Country accepted that, and they are, at least initially, it looks like proceeding with the next phase of review through the DOT process. So that's still outstanding, still ongoing.
I'll make a motion that we approve the rural development pay package described in item U.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Corcoran, seconded by Commissioner Tower to approve the rural development pay package as described in item U. Any other discussion or questions? Roll call vote, please.
Semo.
Yes.
Tower.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes.
Virgil.
Yes. Motion carries. Item V, consider approval of rural development pay package in the amount of $19,740.88 for the city's Phase 3 utility project sewer portion.
Same discussion.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we approve the pay package described in item V.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran to approve the pay package as described in item V. Any other questions? Roll call vote, please.
Tower.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes.
Semo.
Yes.
Virgil.
Yes. Moving on to item W, discuss and consider authorizing bids for a zero-turn lawn mower for the Parks Department.
And I'll speak on this one briefly. This is a request from the Parks Department, and this would be added to their fleet. They have one zero-turn mower they bought a few years ago. Found out that it had a tremendous advantage in their ability to cut much quicker. It's amazing. You can almost cut your cutting time down to half. And again, they're looking to have a second one added to their lawn mowing fleet. And we would go out for bids and bring those bids back to the commission for review. The funding will be from the equipment fund, and there are dollars in there for this.
I'll make a motion, we authorize the bids described in item W.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Semo, seconded by Commissioner Tower to authorize the bids as described in item W. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. Item X, discuss and consider authorizing bids for a sanitary service line relocation located on Business Road 2 and Gogebic Street.
Back in the 1980s, the state of Ironwood went through a series of projects to separate the sanitary from the storm, and they eliminated 99% of the homes that were tied into the storm, and they had them installed in sanitary. Every once in a while, we would come across a home that's still tied to the storm. Recently, we discovered that there are 2 homes on BR2 along the S curve that are still connected to the storm. The sanitary is about 1,600 feet down. We'd like to put out for bids to have a contractor extend the sanitary by Gogebic Street to tie these 2 homes in by the next construction season. NDOT's going to mill and resurface BR2 along that
I'd ask her next meeting, it's a good idea to have that on this year.
Any concept of cost? Guess we'll find out if we authorize the bids. I'll make a motion, we authorize those bids.
Support.
Not sure who was faster.
Take your pick.
Motion by Commissioner Seymour, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran, to authorize bids as described in item X. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to mayor's appointments. Do I do each, for each committee separately or all together?
You can do them separately if you would prefer, and then you need to reconfirm your appointment.
Okay,
Or you can do them all together, it's up to you.
okay. Do you guys
There's a
have
couple
a
of
preference?
reappointments. I need to-
Whatever your pleasure is, ma'am.
All right. I would like to appoint to the library board Helen Sliming. Maybe we should do each committee separately. Let's do that. Do I,
So there's just the one position to fill on the library board then?
at this time?
At this time, there's one position.
Yeah, there were two very wonderful applicants.
You for sure were. I'll make a motion, we approve the mayor's appointment to the library board.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Seymour, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran to approve the mayor's appointment to the library board. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. I would like to appoint Sam Davy and Paul Anderson, reappoint them to the Parks and Rec Committee, and appoint Linda Gendrich as a new member.
What was the other one?
Sam, Paul Anderson, and Linda Gendrich.
Linda Gendrich, okay. I'll make a motion, we approve the mayor's appointment to Parks and Rec.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Seymour, seconded by Commissioner Tyler to approve the mayor's appointments to Park and Rec. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. And I would like to approve Bruce Schwartz to the Downtown Ironwood Development Authority Board.
I'll make a motion, we approve the mayor's appointment to the DIDA.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Seymour, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran to approve Bruce Schwartz to the DIDA. Discussion?
I just would like to make a comment. The other two applicants that you did not appoint
Yes.
seem like really outstanding applicants as well. And I would hope we could encourage them to keep their hats in the ring, as it were.
Yes, and I spoke to both of them, and I'm going to work hard to get them engaged in the community and in the city as best I can, definitely. They're great candidates for this. Any other discussion? All in favor for the DID appointment?
Aye.
Motion carries. Oh, and then manager's appointment.
Manager's appointment? I do have one appointment recommendation to the Ironwood Housing Commission, a reappointment of Joe Kerr Senior. And it'd be for a full appointment. We do have an opening on there also. So I also encourage someone, if anybody else is interested in being on the Ironwood Housing Commission, we still have an opening remaining. But this would be Joe Kerr Senior. That's my recommendation for the full term.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we approve the manager's appointment to the Housing Commission.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Seymour, seconded by Commissioner Corcoran to approve the manager's appointment to the Housing Commission. Discussion? All in favor? Yes. Opposed? And there's still one opening available on the DIDA, I believe, and we have still one opening for the Civic Center. So if any interested parties would like to apply. Manager's report, please.
Just a few items to touch on, and I'll get a more formal report out to you after the meeting here, but a few things just to update you on. Minor thing, but as you notice, we have a new mic stand over there at the podium, so hopefully that's going to work a little better for the public and for the people viewing online. Project-wise, as you noted through the process here, we have a lot of projects underway. Again, I'll just reiterate the local street paving project is going well out in Norrie Park in the Norrie area. That's their focus, and then they'll move on. And I like the way the contractor is moving forward with their project. They're pulverizing streets and then paving them instead of going in and pulverizing all the streets and then trying to pave them later. So I'll give them a little due diligence for the effort they're making there. They're doing a nice job on that. We'd also like to commend all the individuals that were involved last week in our sewer repair downtown. You probably saw that our main block, our core block downtown, had a sewer collapse, sanitary sewer. It was a 15-inch clay pipe. And again, the emergency response, they had to get on it right away and had great teamwork on that from our DPW staff that coordinated that. We had to mobilize a number of contractors with the right equipment to move in there. We actually had 3 different contractors working with our crew on that. Public safety, working with everybody and setting up the detours, and the business owners. Again, very difficult thing for them, on the core block right in the middle of downtown. Again, they were very understanding of the process, and I'll give public safety and DPW lots of credit. They did go out and talk with each of the business owners to make them aware of what was going on. Again, it wasn't as smooth as we could hope. But again, just as a reminder, we're doing a lot of work on our infrastructure. We're not done by any way, shape, or means. Just to remind ourselves of that. It's all underground. It's out of sight, out of mind, so you don't think about it. But we do have another well over half of the city that we have to look at, and we are moving forward with our phase 4. Just to remind everybody, that's funding for another neighborhood that we're looking at for next year, going through the rural development funding process, and that is moving forward through that funding, through rural development to pursue the funding for phase 4. So just a reminder, it's out of sight, out of mind, and sometimes we forget about all that important infrastructure below ground. Our blight demolition project has been completed. We had 27 houses that came down. I had mentioned that before. So the visual stuff is done. Our staff are still working on a lot of the paperwork. There's a lot of follow-up with the funding agencies, but I think that went as smoothly as we could have hoped with our process and with contractors. So we want to thank the contractors also for doing a great job and getting right on that this spring and getting those houses down. They're really significant improvements for all these neighborhoods when these houses do come down. You take that rotten apple out of the barrel and the rest of the barrel is in good shape. You may have noticed, and with Dennis, I guess Xcel Energy is going to be starting on their project here fairly quickly if they haven't started today, out in the industrial park.
Right, they weren't working today, but they were, because you bring it in.
So they're mobilizing to the site, and you'll see activity in the industrial park on their corporate office over in the industrial area. So again, hats off to everybody that made that happen. A lot of people behind the scenes that worked together to work with Xcel and get that office building under construction. Also, you'll see, probably starting this week, if they haven't mobilized to the site yet, is we're working with some contractor assistants, our DPW staff, and local area contractor regarding the Little League field. We talked about that, the slope stabilization. We've been working with the Soil and Water Conservation District and the DEQ on that, and we are mobilizing in some additional equipment that we don't have at our disposal to assist us with that process. So again, you'll see some activity over there over the next few days to a week starting. This past Friday, Thursday and Friday actually, and Kim may be touching on this, but we did have the Michigan Municipal League UP Education Summit here in the city. I want to really thank Kim. She took the lead on that and brought it to our community, and great to have not only the interaction with the MML, it's a great agency, but bring those resources to our area. And we had cities from all over the UP that attended that conference, and excellent conference, and Kim probably has more detail on that, but thank you, Kim, for pulling that off, and Karen for also working with Kim on the logistics of all of that. It's a big deal.
Yeah, I'll just kind of touch on it now. I was going to, we had 45 different city officials across the UP for the Education Summit. and we had various topics, and the folks that did attend seemed very pleased with the topics that were presented. They were kind of impressed with some of the programs that we had and things that we have going on in Ironwood. And it's a good opportunity for people to network and share stories and share solutions. Just want to say thank you to the city staff that helped set it up, many of our sponsors. We also did a walking tour. We picked a few areas in our downtown that I think have won awards or we've gone above and beyond, and that would be the Memorial Building, the Carnegie, the Pocket Park, the Depot Park, the Art Park, the DAP, and the Ironwood Theater. And at each one of those stations, there were volunteers who were there to offer up the historical aspect of the project or informational aspect of the project. So quite a few people attended and very impressed, so thank you to city staff, sponsors, and volunteers. So thank you.
Thank you again, Kim, for a great job organizing that.
Absolutely. Just a few other minor things here, I guess. You did award the pavement striping project, so thank you for that. And we expect by the end of the month, PK Contractor will be in town getting all the streets striped for the summer. And it always creates a nice facelift too. Not only is it a safety issue, it also just spruces things up for our road network. Downtown, our mural, as you can see, the mural has not been replaced yet. We did take the boards off. We've been working with the artist that did that. She has said she will repaint it. We're also working with Hoff Construction, who put the boards up originally. And working with the artist, again, at one point we were going to bring all the boards to her. She had asked that we put up some of the new boards. So we're going to save what is salvageable from the ones that were damaged, have Heft put those back up, put new signboard down, and then she'll come back out and actually do it in place, paint them in place. So we're working toward that, and you'll see this week those signboards going up, and then we'll coordinate with the artist to get her out and get those areas repainted.
Great. Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you, Scott. Any other matters?
I guess I'm just going to piggyback on what Scott and Kim already said. Kim did a fantastic job of setting up the MML conference and giving the keynote speech, or whatever you'd like to call it, the welcoming speech. And I'd also like to mention Michael Brown did an outstanding job doing a report on a comprehensive plan. It was clear that he got people thinking. There were many questions that were really prompted by his presentation. And I think that he showed what we got for our money and why we have, how good our plan really is. People were very impressed. So thanks, Michael, for that. Nice job.
Absolutely. I had one question on Air Street. Any idea when we're gonna get that patched up with the road commission?
On air, the project that we're working with the road commission on. I know they had put us back a little bit in their queue. They had a bunch of projects that came in. I'll have to get back to you. I don't have an exact date on that. We were hoping that they would be able to mobilize in sooner, but I think they had to push it back in their schedule because of some other commitments they had. But I'll get a better date. I'll get a date for you on that.
Any other concerns or comments? No. Motion to adjourn?
Motion, I make that motion.
Support?
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Motion, meeting adjourned. 6:20.
There's the whole street. Okay.
See you.
Did you see that or hear about the truck that was upside down?
Have a good night.